And I'm also going to make my screen super big. Here we go. And welcome. So this is our first Professional Development Friday series, specifically designed in conjunction with FACE. We're super stoked about this. We've been kind of talking through, this PD and what this is going to look like. So we decided to start with our school website makeover class, but we have a ton of different classes that we plan on delivering over the next, year on these Friday mornings. And so we're super excited to start. Today is, like I said, going to focus mainly on your school website. We know that many of you already have a school website, and so I'm actually going to launch one of our first polls. And let me get that. We want to know, do you have a school website? And you'll see there's a few options. So, yes, you have one and it's actively updated. Yeah, but we haven't really touched it. No, we don't have one, which means that you're in for a treat because we're going to show you how you can get this work started. And maybe you're not sure, right? Maybe if you're new to the building, new to the school, maybe you're unsure if your school has a website. But either way, give us a little feedback so that we know who's in the room and what we're working with. While you guys are answering that, hold on here. Quick agenda. So we're going to do some introductions in just a moment. Then I'm going to walk you through the storytelling structure because that's a really effective way when we think about, making these websites of ours, right? It's not just a repository. It's not just, like a place where you just put resources. Websites should be really reflective of your school and the community that you serve. It is an extension of the physical space. So we're going to talk about that storytelling piece. Then we're actually going to study an exemplar school website. And I actually have a few exemplars. So we'll show you all of that, and then we'll evaluate your current school site, kind of take a peek at what you already have, set some goals, we'll develop your action plan, and then we'll end with some next steps. So like I said, jam-packed session today. We have a lot going on, but I'm super excited. So let's do some introductions. This is our Bitmoji classroom, which we like to include as part of our introduction. Our team has a lot of fun. We enjoyed making this, but it's actually super practical. You may have seen teachers in your building doing this. Everything on here is a clickable link. So all of these that you see where it says telling your school story, assessing your school website, those are actually links to the agendas. So we offer a whole series on how to make over your website. We're only going to do for this collaboration, the first and second class, but we will share with you our PD calendar, and we host PDs not just on Fridays for you guys, but all over the DOE. So if you're interested in continuing with this website makeover series, I highly recommend you check out our learning calendar. Definitely take another class with us if you can. We do a lot of work around digital literacy, but also inclusion and accessibility. All right. And I'm just trying to make sure I admit everyone. So my apologies, folks. But here we are. So we're the Office of Digital, I'm part of the Office of Digital Literacy and Inclusion with the Division of Instructional and Information Technology. And I do have a few of my colleagues here on the call today. I do want to pass it over to Lisa. I know she's here, and she is our Senior Director for the Office of Digital Literacy and Inclusion. So I'll have her say a few words.
Yeah, we are just so excited to have everyone here. We have partnered with family and community empowerment for many years, but this is the first time that we get to provide this whole ongoing series for you, and we hope to stay connected with all of you each week, but also between each week. As Laura has shared or will share, we have a parent coordinators group. And so we're just really excited to have this connection and collaboration. Thank you.
We also have Christina Basias, who's from the Ed Tech program. So I'm going to turn it over to Christina to say a couple of words. Christina, you on the call?
Yes, I am. Hi. Hi, everybody. My name is Justina Basias. I'm assisting this wonderful team with this series of professional development. I'm super excited to be a part of it. My role as it stands right now is really incorporation of the EdTech tools, how to access them, best practices, etc., which does have crossover with what you're doing. So I'm going to be helping to assist as we move through this series. So it's great to meet everyone, and I'm excited to be a part of this.
Thank you so much. And then just so that you know, we have Latikwa Spivey, who's our awesome assistant at the Office of Digital Literacy and Inclusion. She's on the back end of things. So if you need anything, like I said, please put it in the chat. We are moderating. We're going to make sure that you get what you need from this session. All right. And then there's a few other folks that we've partnered with. So I'm going to turn it back over to Derry and the Office of Family and Community Empowerment.
Thank you so much, Laura. And again, my name is Derry, and I am from the Office of Family Community Empowerment. And I am excited to represent on this agenda what we're going to call What About Face. So each Fridays, we're going to provide some updates on some family engagement tips. We want to shout out you on our What About Face, and just find out exactly how are you using these sessions. We also have my colleague Diana, but she unfortunately cannot log in, of course, when we're just working this out, but she's here. She represents family and community empowerment. She's part of the parent empowerment team. As you guys know, some of my work stream is supporting and providing opportunities like this, and also supporting the Bronx. So that is some of my work streams, and I'm so excited to be here and participating in this wonderful professional development series. With that, I'm gonna introduce our first guest, which is actually, I'm sorry, I'm gonna kick it back to Laura.
Oh, no worries, no worries. Like I said, this is our first session today,
Yes.
so it feels like there's a bit of like some technical difficulties. I promise you we'll hammer it all out. I'm just so excited that we have so many folks here on the call. So we'll make sure that we take care of those technical glitches before our next session. And then part of our work is also partnering with Common Sense Education. And again, I think Tali was having some difficulties getting in the call as well. So Tali, do you happen to be here? If not, that's okay. Our office works closely with Tali Horowitz. She is from Common Sense. She is one of the education directors, as she directly supports the NYC DOE in doing a lot of our digital citizenship work, which is so, so important right now, particularly with what we're doing in our schools and helping both our students and our families use digital and online tools. So Tali is an invaluable resource. And then her colleague Merv Lapis is the vice president of outreach and national partnerships. So we're really excited to have them partnering with us to do these types of professional development workshops with you. Again, this is a partnership that we are doing throughout the entire school year. So this is not just today, right? This is our kickoff event, but we really plan on making this an every Friday event. So you're going to see a lot of different things being shared. Some of them will be directly from Common Sense. Some will be from my office, from Christina's. We're partnering with all sorts of folks. And really, this is about sharing our wealth of knowledge and information and expertise. So I'm so, so happy that we've got all the best brains together to share with all of you. All right, so in the chat, I know some of you have done this already, but if you haven't done so, definitely introduce yourself. Let us know where you're coming from and what you do. We know we have tons of parent coordinators on the call, but I know we also have a few other folks. So let us know, like I said, where you're coming from and what you're doing. And then I already asked if your school maintains a website, but the next question I'm going to ask is, do you have input in your school's website? So let me launch that poll for you guys. So hopefully you have some input. So maybe it's that, yes, you have input. You're the school website master. maybe it's you actively help out, give feedback. Maybe you don't. We're hopefully going to change that as well. And maybe you don't, because like I said, you fall into that very small boat of you don't have a school website. But again, we're going to change that hopefully. So take a moment to fill out that poll, but also introduce yourself in the chat if you haven't done so already. And I see we have quite the group in here. Oh my goodness, we're almost at 200 participants. This is so exciting. And just so you guys know, I know that we've got a lot of folks commenting, but Latiqua Spivey has just popped in some important links into the chat one more time, and we'll be doing that throughout today's session. But please go ahead and bookmark our learning calendar. Like I said, our office does a lot of PD throughout the day, not just on Fridays for you guys, but we typically have a whole lineup Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So definitely bookmark that calendar. Share it with your colleagues, share it with your teachers. Everyone needs accessibility work. So we definitely love to have you share that out. And then please, we have two different teams, our inclusion team and our family team. The inclusion team is a team that's really comprised of folks who are doing a lot of digital accessibility work. So definitely join that team. But then our family team is really for parent coordinators. Even if you're not a parent coordinator, but you're working closely with schools, supporting schools, that's a great team to be part of. So we'd love to have everyone on the call join those two teams today. And then we do know that some folks like to take notes during PD. So if you're in that boat, we've got our webinar workbook. It's just a blank document. When you click on the link, it'll force you to make a copy. And again, we don't collect notes. It's really just for you. But if that's how you learn best, we've got that. And then our Bitmoji classroom, because again, our team has fun, and why not? That has actually all the agendas for all the classes that we actively are hosting right now. So excited to see everyone in here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I mean, like I said, we have quite the group here. So typically when our trainings are smaller, I literally shout people out, but there's just so many. But again, thank you all so much for showing up. I know it's a Friday. It's been a long week, but we've got a long weekend ahead. So all right, so looking at our poll, I'm going to go ahead and stop it and share the results with you. So it looks like we have quite a number of webmasters on the call, which is really nice. That means you are in charge of actually, doing work on your website. But then it looks like the vast majority are also in a position where you're helping out and giving feedback. And really, that's the best of both worlds, right? We have folks that are actually maintaining their school website and giving feedback. As any type of family, coordinator, parent coordinator. I know we have FLCs, FSCs, all sorts of folks with different titles. But if you are in a position where you are engaging with your family community and then working with your school and your school's administration and leadership teams, then you really ought to have input on your school website. That's important. Anyone that has their ear to the ground and is communicating with families, you then need to kind of take what you're hearing and be able to bring it back to these folks. So it is very, very important that we help kind of make those connections, because again, right now our websites are so important. So that leads me into kind of getting into the meat of things, right? Our storytelling structure. So a little bit of background on this. Oftentimes what we have found with and I'm just going to ask folks, please remember to keep yourself muted for the duration of today's session. We have over 200 folks on the call today, so keeping that background noise at bay is going to ensure that we have a smooth session. But as I was saying, so what we found is that for a lot of schools, they kind of threw their website together. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean like, it was like, hey, we need to have a website. We need to have a presence on the web. Let's put it together. And so, a lot of folks maybe without a website, a design background, kind of all of a sudden quickly threw together a website. And it's fairly easy. There's a lot of different platforms that'll do it for you. Many of them are free, things like Google and Wix easily allow you to create a website. But the truth is that we found that the planning piece of it kind of wasn't there, unfortunately so. And so we need to take a step back and really think about our websites. And as I mentioned before, our websites ought to be an extension of our school. The physical space in the building, but also in a broader sense, our ideology, right? Our philosophy on teaching and learning, right? It needs to be reflective of our families. So when we think about our websites, oftentimes they're created with our current families in mind. And that's obviously a key demographic, right? We know that our current families are going to our school websites and they are looking for information, especially now, right? They want to know, what cohort is my child in, right? Who do I go to if we're having trouble with logging into Google Classroom, right? Like clearly our current families need support. However, our websites are also for our prospective families, right? And sometimes we don't necessarily think about that population. But for those of you who are parents and you've moved, you know the drill, right? Anytime you're looking to move, one of the first things you also consider, in addition to, the actual apartment or the house, you look at the neighborhood and you look at the schools, right? Does my neighborhood have good schools? And if they're looking and they're going to a website to kind of do a little research and you don't have a school website, or your school website is looking a little outdated, that's going to give them the wrong impression, right, of what your school and your building actually does. So we kind of need to keep in mind, who is coming to our website and what their different needs might be. And then going a little deeper, what goes into that storytelling? So again, obviously we want to make sure that we're getting, the information, right? But our websites also need to give information about the history of our school, right? So many of our schools are named after various individuals. They may have a focus on STEAM. They may be called, School of the Future, School of Arts and Technology, right? So if that's part of your school's identity, we need to make sure that that comes through in the website, right? We can't leave that out. Uh, with that, we want to make sure that our core values and beliefs are being expressed on the school website, right? Very, very important to highlight the work that you do. Some schools have a really robust arts program, right? Or, maybe you're a STEAM school. You focus on a lot of, science and technology and math. That stuff needs to be at the forefront, right? And then, of course, we need to differentiate ourselves from our competitors. And I'm not just talking about, the public school across the street or down the block, but think about the charter schools that may be in the neighborhood and even the private schools, right? We know right now we're in this like really weird time where a lot of folks are kind of losing faith in our school system. And so we need to show, hey, you know what? Yes, we may be in these really weird times. And, yes, maybe, it's hybrid learning, it's not perfect, but look at what our school is doing. Look at how we're addressing the needs of our community and our students. Look at the program that we've got in place. You want to be able to express all of that information again on your school website, right? School websites really are an extension of what's happening in your building, right? So let's kind of keep that in mind as we're going through this work. All right, so I want to take a moment to look at an exemplar school, okay? We're going to look at PS 160's website. Latique was going to go ahead and drop that link in the chat for you. And it is also on our agenda. So I will quickly show the agenda actually before we get to the school's website, but this is our agenda. We will drop both of these links into the chat. So Latique would just drop the link to the Walt Disney School, but we'll also drop the link to this agenda. You can get to it from the Bitmoji Classroom, but everything is on here, including some of our other exemplars. Like I said, it's not just the Walt Disney School. So here is PS 160, and I'm going to take a moment. Every time I teach this, I like to show this opening screen. Again, you can go here on your own, but look at what happens when you go to PS 160's website. I haven't scrolled yet. This is just their opening banner. But what do you already see about their school website, right? What are you noticing? Oh, and some folks are saying it can't be reached. Odd. Okay. Let me just. Okay. We will double check that link for you. My apologies, folks. If you can, try and, oh, I see some folks saying if you Google it, it should come up. And actually, do know that that is oftentimes how your families are going to get to your school website. They might not know the actual web address, right? But they're going to do a simple Google search, right? So that's actually really, really important when we're thinking about our school websites, right? That, they're going to do a simple search. You should actually try that as well. Make sure that, if you search for your school quickly, does your website show up? Because if it doesn't, that's something to also kind of consider, right? That means that your family community probably can't go and access your website as easily as you might think it may be. All right, and thank goodness. All right, folks are saying it's working and they're seeing this website. Awesome. So I want to just, like I said, take a moment. What do you already notice? And I'm seeing someone say, "Yeah, it seems current." They have, a little memoriam to Chadwick Boseman, right? Who just recently passed away. Notice what you see in terms of the images of their students, right? Think about everything you're seeing. Again, I haven't even scrolled. This is literally just their banner, and they have a really beautiful banner that kind of cycles through some images. I see Simone saying students are engaged. It's colorful, right? That's something to really kind of think through. Someone saying you can already tell it's informative, right? You see an alert at the top. And you can already see their navigation, right? Now, one of the things that we will discuss further is that navigation is so, so important when we talk about school websites, right? A clean navigation. Notice that there's only 6 different kind of menu items at the top, right? And that's very intentional. You want to be really, really clear when you are making your website. Is your information easy to find, right? If it's buried somewhere, if I don't really know which thing it might be under, I'm probably going to give up, right? I'm gonna go old school. I'm gonna pick up the phone. I'm gonna call the school, say, yeah, I went to your website. I didn't see it, right? So the clean navigation, making things really easy to find, that's also another important piece. So I'm glad folks are noticing that. And I see some folks are saying people are waiting, but I have admitted everyone in. So hopefully no one is waiting in the waiting room. It looks like everyone should be in as a participant here. All right, so a lot of you are saying you see that colorful, lots of images, obviously. It's current, unfortunately, it's even, acknowledging a member that they had to say goodbye to. It's highlighting diversity, right? So we have uh, so many things that are happening here on this website. And again, I haven't even scrolled yet. Now, I want to pause for just a moment because I understand we have someone who joined our call, and we want to introduce them. So I'm going to turn it over to Derry to introduce another special guest on the call today.
Derry, if you're talking, you're on mute.
Hello, thank you so much. I am so excited because now we have a special treat for you guys. As we're talking about what can we add to our website and what can we message to our families at this time. As you guys know, one of the priorities right now is how do we get our families aware that we have a system called the New York City School Account. And today on our call, we have the executive director for, I do apologize.
For DIIT, Family Facing Vertical.
Yes, hi, you're here. Okay.
Yes, I am.
So if you can just introduce yourself, I'm so excited that you're here, and we would love to hear how can we support the New York City School Account. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so excited to talk about NICSA. I'll first introduce myself. I'm Bharti Veeraswamy, the Executive Director for Family Facing Vertical from DIIT. So what does Family Facing Vertical do? It supports all family technical needs. So if you have any issues with any of the systems facing family, please, you can reach out to me and my colleagues who are also participating in this meeting, Pankaj Deshpande and Ramesh Narayan Swamy.
Hello.
Derry, do you want me to walk through and give an overview of NICSA now?
Yeah, just a quick highlight. What can we do as family-facing liaison? How can we get this message out to parents?
Sure. So NICSA, by registering for families by registering into New York City Schools account, have access to key information about their students' school records, and they can view, the families can view in any of the 10 languages supported by DOE. This application, NICSA, can be accessed through any internet-connected devices, such as computer or smartphone, by visiting the site. There is a website link, which my colleague will be posting into the chat. Now, the registration for NICSA for families is voluntary, but schools should inform parents, guardians, the process and benefits of creating an account to view updated student information. Now, as parent coordinators, you should have access to FAM, which is known as Family Access Management Tool. Now, how is NICSA and FAM connected? FAM is the tool to create and manage accounts for families for authorized DOE staff. Now, there is a link to the FAM tool also, which will be posted by my colleague onto the chat. Now, how do you gain access to the FAM application, right? Now, FAM allows the DOE staff, especially the parent coordinators, in creating the NICSA account. So the FAM designees, which are primarily the parent coordinators, can create accounts for the custodial and non-custodial parents and generate an account creation code for custodial parents who can use it to create an account online. Again, the link for FAM will be posted in the chat. So the account creation is not just limited to custodial and non-custodial parents. The custodial parents, once they create the account, they can add additional users. Now, who can access FAM? FAM access is automatically provisioned to the DOE roles listed below, including any other staff members assigned the Family Access Management role in My Galaxy. I'm sure everyone is aware of My Galaxy. So the school-based roles which automatically get provisioned or get access to FAM is principals, assistant principals, parent coordinator. In addition to that, the principals can manually assign school staff by giving the role Family Access Management in my school. Any questions on that? I'll just quickly jump on to the next slide, which basically talks about the comparison between FAM, the Family Access Management Tool, and NICSA. So FAM is for DOE staff, NICSA is for parents. Now, FAM allows to manage NICSA user accounts. Available features are create accounts, generate single and multiple account authorization letters to send home with the students, change email address, reset accounts, add and remove students from accounts, and view account student associations and view account guardian associations. So these are the features available for the DOE staff. Now, from NICSA point of view, what is available for the families and guardians? The families can access the following information for their students: assessments, test scores, attendance, enrollment history, grades, graduation tracker, guardians, health information as it relates to fitness program, individualized education program, which is known as IEP information, promotion tracker, reading level, schedule, and student document. So I'm just going to quickly jump on to the statistics a little and kind of allow you to gauge the importance of NICSA. We have around a total of 1.1 million students, for 1.1 potential families. Sorry?
Are you sharing those numbers? Because we just see the FAM screen.
Just the numbers. Pankaj, just go on to the next slide. Just the numbers, and then you can talk about the other features.
So we don't see the deck. So
yeah, who's sharing the screen for the slides?
Can you see it now?
Hello? We see
I think
only
you need
screen.
Yeah, you need to share your screen. On the bottom, you can prompt to share the screen so that we could all see the slides.
Pankaj, would you mind sharing it, please?
Oh, you would have to do it on your
somebody
end.
Needs to. You're right.
Can somebody allow Pankaj to share the screen? Pankaj Deshpande.
I just made you both co-hosts, so you both have the ability to share.
Okay, while you're sharing, I'll just talk about the statistics and the importance of it so that we don't lose time on it. So potentially we have total number of students is 1.1 million students and 1 million families, but we only have accounts, NICSA accounts for 472,000. So amongst them, we have only 100,000 accounts with students attached. In NICSA, you can create two kinds of accounts. An account where you just create an account and provide your contact information as a family and not attach a student. So as a family, if as a parent, let's say as a mother, if I create an account and do not attach my student who's going to New York City schools, I won't be able to see any information related to my student, right, or my child. So it's very important not only just create an account, that is the first few steps, but go all the way to the end and attach all my children or students to my account. That way I would be able to see all information related to my child. Were you able to share the screen, Pankaj?
No, someone needs to enable the screen sharing for me. I still can't share. Okay, so I'm hoping that you just got an idea about what I'm talking about without the presentation. Anybody has any questions on that? And I'll quickly ask Pankaj to continue from there a little bit more. Do I have 5 minutes more to talk about the other features in NICSA?
So what we're gonna do, because this was a quick overview and sort of like an action plan, so that we know what we can do to add this to our website. What I want to do is I want to thank you and your team so much.
Okay.
If we can get the PowerPoint and the training, we're going to add this on the parent coordinating website and have you guys come back and do a full training. This was sort of like getting us started and getting us to what can we do right now to get some information on our website and what is our call of action as family liaisons. So I want to thank you so much for joining us today and sharing a little bit about the NICSA account and how we can get started. But if there's any questions regarding the New York City school account and FAMIS, please send us your questions so that we can create a Q&A. So thank you so much for joining us. And I'm gonna kick it back to Laura so that she can continue with the conversation. And I wanna thank again our executive director for family facing systems account, Ms. Baraf, and her team. So thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Again, thank you. And I know that there were some glitches. We will get all that information to you. We're going to send a follow-up email after today's session, not only with the stuff you've seen from our team, but also all the NICSA information. I know that they had slides that we were not able to share. So we will make sure you get everything you need. I promise. All right, so back to where we were. Let's see. All right, so we were looking at the PS 160 school website. They're PS 160, the Walt Disney Magnet STEAM School. So a lot of you, correctly kind of identified, this is a school where you're seeing lots of bright imagery, right? Diversity, and it's clearly a website that is kept current. You can tell just by some of the alerts at the top. They have a COVID-19 blended and remote learning plan. So if you're a parent and you're interested in finding out, like, wait, what am I doing? How am I helping my child? What cohort are they in? I'm probably going to go there, right? Now let's take a moment to actually scroll. Again, I really love the clean layout of this website, and you're probably seeing it too. So they've got a calendar, some really quick announcements, and then even a video, right? Videos are so powerful, and especially today, I'm gonna play this without the sound, but especially in today's world where we know our families are going to have limited access to our school buildings, right? They are not going to be allowed to just come in. We're not going to be able to do, our curriculum night, our meet the teacher night, events that we would have typically held in person, right? We know that that's going to be a challenge. And so by adding things like videos to show what's happening in the school, that's another way to keep your community feeling connected and engaged, right? A quick video, I mean, this is, I think, about 3 minutes long, but a quick video to show what your school is all about, what's happening inside, right? It's gonna go a long way to help parents and family members feel at ease. Like, all right, I may not be able to see what's always happening, but I feel connected, right? You can learn a little bit more about the principal. They have an embedded Twitter feed. And I really like this. They were able to record their parent session on reopening. And so if you weren't able to make that session, look, they've got the recording right there on their homepage. You can see a little bit more about their school. Again, obviously, they're named the PS 160 Walt Disney Magnet STEAM School, so they've got to have a little bit of STEAM on here, right on their homepage, right? They've got their STEAM collaboration, right? Another video, because again, videos are so powerful. And then, like I said, they're a STEAM school, so you see that STEAM focus, and you can easily see, the science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics focus, right? So one more page I want us to look at, and that's the About Us page, because that also is another page where your community is going to get a lot of information, right? And this is a little different. I know that, some schools have like a vision statement type of page, a page where, it kind of feels very like, all right, the principal wrote this, they wanted it on there. But remember, websites are for our community, They are for our parents and our families. They need to be responsive to their needs. Um, I'm getting some feedback from someone. So again, just make sure you keep your mics muted for today's session. All right. But anyway, so I like to show this about us section because, again, it's not like a vision statement. It's a little different. I like that they have this quote here. I think it's so cool. I am somebody. I was somebody when I came, and I will be a better somebody when I leave. I am respectful. I am empathetic, and I am responsible. I deserve the education that I get at the Walt Disney Magnet STEAM School, right? Quotes are always really powerful. Now, one of the things I have said before, especially with telling your story, is really highlighting the work you do. But I want to be weary of this because sometimes folks think that means like, oh, slap some buzzwords on there. Yeah, we do SEL, we do project-based learning. Yeah, okay, slap STEAM on there. You can't also just slap buzzwords onto your website, right? You have to really show that this is what your school is about. So, they are a STEAM school, they're going to show you, right? They're going to explain what that means. Their curriculum is grounded in an active student-led approach called project-based learning. They explain that, right? They also offer multiple programs. So they have a dual language program. Again, you can't say we're diverse and then not really show what that means. So by explaining their dual language program, you're getting that diversity, right? They call it out a little bit more here. They talk about what that means, how they have a culturally responsive curriculum. They have a library with, tons of diverse books and other media, an equity team, right? And even a parent equity team. So again, it's not enough to say like, yes, we're diverse and put it as a bullet point. We really have to explain what these things are, right? They also use this house system, which I think is really cool. So at Disney, they're committed to addressing the needs of the whole child, right? They use a house system to reinforce positive behaviors. And you can see, I mean, these are obviously names that are that resonate with important people within our community, right? Obama, Oprah, Ochoa, right? Like, think about these names and who they represent. These clearly are very intentional. They also highlight the special programs and partnerships. Think about that stuff, right? Like, who do you partner with? What's your arts program? Who do you get from within the community to bring other programs to your school, right? And then, of course, obviously, where are you located and maybe a little, how to get here, right? All that stuff is so, so key. So I'm going to pause right there because that was probably a lot to take in. And really, we only looked at 2 pages, right? We looked at the home page and we looked at the About Us section. Every page on your website, right, needs to have a level of planning and thought and design that goes into it, right? We're not slapping stuff on pages. We're not saying, yeah, throw it on the website, which is oftentimes, I think, what ends up happening. Instead, we want to make sure that everything is well thought out, right? Think about like when students are given a writing assignment, right? There's supposed to be a planning process involved, right? You plan it out. You may draft some ideas before then you actually start to put it together, and that's what needs to happen with a website. This website didn't just get created, okay? It's not the kind of thing that they just said, yeah, we're going to open up a website and we're just going to start slapping things on here. It actually started with a planning document. So I want to take you over to that planning document. And this is their planning document. I want to be really, really clear. We have a blank one, but I just want to briefly show this to you because, again, you don't get a really polished site without planning first. So they told their story, right? And if you're wondering why they don't really focus on the name, it has to do with when they were created, it had to do with an essay contest, they were named, but really that's not a big part of their identity. So they don't focus on the Walt Disney part, but the STEAM and the magnet part are really important, right? And that's something that they touch upon in their planning document. This forced them, as they were thinking through how to structure their website, to think about all those programs, right? Sometimes you forget what you offer, or sometimes, it takes those multiple perspectives. So this is why we say it's so important to make sure that you assemble your team. We really need to make sure that we've got a team, and I see folks wanting me to make this a little bit bigger, so here we go. It's really important to assemble a team so that you're not doing this work alone. And also not because it's, it becomes a little unmanageable when you're doing it alone, but also multiple perspectives, right? As the parent coordinator, you may have certain insights and ways to think about this work, but your admin obviously has ways that they're thinking about it. It's important to rope in, some teachers in the building and even students. And I don't just mean like, oh, well, that's great for high schools and middle schools. No, even at the elementary level, what do your students think about their school, right? What's their perspective on things? What do they think you guys do? It's always interesting when you interview the really little ones and what they say. So it is so important, right? That we kind of, as we are planning, that we get those multiple perspectives, because then that's really going to help create a website that captures all of those perspectives, right? So it starts, I can't say it enough, with the planning. Now, again, this is their planning document. I'm just going to quickly skim this. You have this. It's in the presentation, and we've dropped that link a few times, and we will share it again in our follow-up email. But you have this, so you can see what went into the planning, right? They talked about their different programs. Look, this is not a quick document. In fact, I'm going to open up the template for you just so that you see it. So this is the template. It's going to force you to make a copy. This is a little misleading because you're going to open it up and you're going to go, oh, look, it's 10 questions. Well, that's easy. We can, knock that out in 10 minutes. The truth is, no, you can't. And I don't say that to be facetious. I'm not trying to be, like gloom and doom here. But the truth is that even though it seems pretty simple, this is the type of document that if you've got all the right people working on it, it's going to take you a little while to really sit and plan and think through these answers. Because again, everything you put in here, you're then going to transfer over to your website. You're going to use this to really think through all those components, right? So that's why I'm saying this is not quick. This is not a one and done. This is all about really making sure that you deeply think through all the things your school does, okay? And again, this is just the blank version. Look at PS 160 so that you get a sense of what really went into capturing everything that their school does, right? It's quite amazing. All right, so there's that. Gonna head back over. Actually, I want to show you one more website really quick. I know we're running a little short on time, but 160's website is made with eChalk. That is a premium platform, which means it does come with a cost. However, PS189M, this was made with Wix, and Wix is a free platform. So if you're kind of wondering what's the difference, platform doesn't really make all the difference. It's really the planning that goes behind it. So whether you're choosing a free platform like Google or Wix, or if you have something more premium like, either way, it all starts with planning. So I don't want you to think like, oh, it's because they have a premium site, it looks so good. The truth is you can have a free website and it looks just as polished. So I'm not going to go too deeply into PS 189s, but you can see they highlight student life, kind of what they do. They talk about the admission process. This is actually another magnet school. And I love this section. Pictures are so important on a website, right? And even though, again, we were in these weird times, look at all of the beautiful images on here, right? Again, to highlight what their school is doing. And these were, remote graduation, right? To show, like, even though we're apart, like, hey, we're celebrating the end of the school year. So don't think that, like, because we're in these weird remote times that you can't do some of this work. Pictures speak 1,000 words, right? More so than all the words we can put on our website. So this, like I said, is designed with Wix. This is a free platform, and Wix has actually partnered with us. So they they have an accessible template that you can use. I also want to briefly show they have a lot of really nice videos. And this one I played through. They use Can't Stop the Feeling. So the whole time the video is playing, you have that like catchy little tune, and they had each one of their staff members. This was, I think, made back in like April or May. So they had each one of their staff members just holding up signs saying, "We miss you, we love you." And again, I know that for some of our staff, they're in that boat. They're in that boat of like, yeah, I'm working remotely, I'm teaching remotely. But you can still have a sense of community, right? And again, it's so important to highlight who your staff is. Again, making your family community aware of like who is in the building and who's not in the building, right? I thought this was really, really cute. Again, all the teachers participated. And again, when we are in this like weird time, building a sense of community can feel tricky, but a quick video, easy to put together, and it'll help everyone feel way more connected. So again, if you have a moment, take some time to look at it, because I thought this video was really, really cute. And it's something that your school can easily do. Putting together a quick video to say, hey, we love you, we miss you, here's who your staff is, right? Even just a quick welcome video, welcome to our school, welcome to the start of the 2021 school year, right? So I'm going to pause that. Again, you guys can check these out. All of this is on our agenda. You can see the different exemplars that we have. So I'm going to get back over to our presentation. And I want you now to kind of, if you haven't done so already, open up a new tab, right? And take a look at your school website. So this is something that I would highly encourage you do with a team of folks that you're building. Hopefully you have a team that works on your website. This isn't just work for one person, but take a look and you can even kind of have it side by side with one of the exemplars and say like, hey, do we have some of these things, right? Are we highlighting our programs? Is our navigation clear? Do we know where to get to stuff, right? What are the things that we're doing well and we want to keep? What stuff we want to toss, right? What stuff we need to get rid of that. One of the first things I'll tell you that you can get rid of is anything that's old and outdated. I see it all the time on websites, but some of our websites, it's like they're repositories. They're dumping grounds. I was looking at a school website the other day and they still had communication from March. They had like the chancellor's initial letter to families saying, hey, we're moving to all remote instruction. I don't know who this is news to, but that letter's old. Take it off your website. No one wants to see it. No family's looking for that letter. That is not pertinent information. You need to toss that. In fact, I would pretty much argue any of the letters that the chancellor sent from the past school year, even if it was from June, take it off your site. That's not needed. That information is outdated. So it is really, really important that we make sure that our websites are always updated with the most current information, because that's what your family community wants, right? They're not looking for the letter from a month ago, 2 months ago. They heard an announcement on the news, this morning, and so they're going to your website to check out what it means for today. So keep that in mind. Use that planning document to identify those key pieces of information. Again, think about the purposes for your audience. I can't say it enough, but school websites are not for administrators. I know sometimes they think they are. It makes them look good. They send it to their superintendent. It's like, look at my school website. It's really, really pretty. It's cool. It's new. We did it. We did this. We did that. Guess what, though? School websites are not for administrators. They're not for parent coordinators. They're not for any of those people. Your school website is for your parent and family community. It's for your students, right? They are going to be the ones that are accessing your website, looking for resources, trying to get information. So, sometimes I know it's hard to push back on your administrator, but this is an important conversation to have. That this is not a time to like highlight like all the cool things and all the great things that make the principal amazing. No, it's about creating a website that's responsive to the needs of that community and that family. So we need to always keep that in mind, right? Who is our audience and what are they looking for? This is also a great time for you to be able to check the analytics of your website. So if you can see the type of clicks that you're getting, what pages get the most traffic, because data is always key, right? So if you know, like, yeah, people are always coming to our site and they're trying to find out all about, you know, our remote learning plan and our hybrid plan, right? That's information you need to pass along. So if you can do a little data analysis and figure out kind of what are the really key things that people are looking for and say, this is where the traffic is, we have to make sure that those pages on our site are always kept up to date. We have to make sure that it has the information they actually need. Then that's going to help you better create a responsive website. All right. So when we think about organization, we want to think in these buckets, right? Big bucket kind of, and then the subcategories that go within it. So for example, thinking about like 160 again, that exemplar, they thought very clearly about their programs, and they have several, right? So thinking about like what programs do we offer, and then what lives under each of those programs. If you're offering a very robust STEAM program, maybe you're highlighting the new lab, maybe you're highlighting the showcase that happens every spring, right? Think about those key pieces that live within each of these buckets. If you have a really robust drama program, right, highlight the student shows. Maybe it's that your drama program actually ties very much into the literacy work that happens on the school level, right? That's also really, really important. So again, think through the organization and structure. Our fourth class in the school website makeover series talks a lot about organization and navigation. So if you're kind of interested in that, please make sure you've bookmarked our learning calendar and see, be on the lookout for our school website makeover human-centered design, because we talk in depth about organization and how to make sure that information is really organized in a way that makes sense. All right, so we are starting to get close to the end of today's session. So where are we leaving you, right? Well, you've got to develop your action plan. Think about how this story of yours is going to be told. Think about the actionable steps that you're going to take after today's PD. So obviously you're going to work on your website. Hopefully you already have a team of folks that is working on this, so you don't have to worry about assembling your team, but then gather that team together. Really think strategically. Fill out that planning doc. Look at what you currently have. Think about what you're keeping. Think about what you're tossing. Then you want to think about how you're going to communicate the information about your school website. Maybe, you know, you're looking at your traffic and you're realizing people don't really even know we have a website, right? They're not coming to it as much. So you need to spread word of mouth. Hey, we have a new website, right? Where can you put it? Do you have, if you maintain social media profiles, which we're going to get into in the coming sessions, but if you have, you know, a Facebook page for your school, a Twitter, an Instagram, make sure that you are plugging your school website. In your communications to your families, whether it's an email or a letter that you're sending home, plug your website. Say, hey, we've got this new website. Check it out. It has the most current information, right? Partner with your parents association. I know that not every school has one, but if you have an active parents associations can be really, really key in this work. They can help you get the word out. They can help you in terms of thinking what's important for your family community. And again, they're always a great partner. And then think about how you can use flyers and even QR codes within the neighborhood. I know that a lot of schools have like a board that's right in front of their school, maybe a large board. So print a really large QR code if you can. Have it on there and tell people, hey, scan this QR code so that you can get to our school website, right? It's really, really helpful to get the word out. So, you know, think about how aggressive sometimes ads can be. That's how you want to treat your website. Really be aggressive, get the word out so that folks know. All right, so next steps. What are you doing after today? All right, so we want you to complete your plan. We'll drop this link. I know it's been dropped a few times, but we'll drop the link to our school website plan. Again, that's that blank document to help you kind of begin this work. Definitely come to our next Digital Professional Development Friday. And I'm actually going to launch our last poll for today. So we have several sessions on here, and this is one that we'd like to hear back from. So what do you think is the most pressing need for you and your school right now? So what's the type of session that you'd like to see next? Again, we may have to tweak things based on, you know, what we have available and also what people are saying, but we want to be responsive to what you guys are thinking you need for your families and for your work for this upcoming school year. The other thing you can do is you can book us for a session. So if you go to digin.nyc/book, you can book our team. We do accessibility review. We will help you with your website. So if you need more individualized support, certainly use that link and book us. And then I know it's been posted in the chat a few times, but we will again post these links again. Please join our digital inclusion team and join our family leadership team. We'd love to have you in both of those teams. Again, those are teams on Microsoft. And, you know, if you need support, if you want to connect with others who are doing similar work to you, those are two great teams to be part of. All right. Now, while you guys are still filling out this poll and kind of giving us an idea of what you would like, I want to also give you time to type in any questions you have into the chat. We are down to about our last 7 or 8 minutes. In terms of CTLE, we're going to drop a link into the chat in just a moment. Latiqua will do that for us. So don't worry, we'll make sure. I know some folks on this call want CTLE, so we'll do that. And Latiqua has just as promised popped in that link. It is digin.nyc/remote attendance.
And hi everybody, and while you guys are just filling out this form, just want to thank the team for today. I want to thank you all just for being patient with us. Today is our first kickoff. I'm so excited for the Professional Development Fridays, all about digital access, helping us to understand how do we promote or how do we effectively communicate with our families during this time. So excited because what's coming up in this year of learning is even how do we put together social media accounts. So I am just, oh my gosh, I am so excited for this. Thank you again, Laura, for this wonderful presentation today. Thank you, Lisa, and thank you, team, Christina, everyone at DITT for extending this workshop for us as family-facing liaisons. And thank you, parent coordinators, and we have some principals on the line. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you, everyone. Please join us next Friday. I feel like this is going to be one of the most popular PDs. Yeah, just feel free to unmute yourself. Just give thanks. And happy holidays for anyone who's celebrating holidays this weekend.
Thank you so much. This was wonderful.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome. And don't forget to join.
Bye.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much.
And don't forget, we're going to stay here for a little bit longer. Don't forget to join the teams. We're going to continue conversations. You get the latest update for professional development and also some really cool tips.
Thanks, Jerry.
You're welcome. Hey, Ed.
Jerry, I have a question. I got kicked out. I got kicked out when I came back in. The link for the attendance wasn't there. Can it be posted so I can sign in?
We'll post that again. Latiqua will drop it in. I know that a lot of folks are saying thank you and whatnot, so I know it gets like pushed way out. We'll drop that link again.
Thank you. This was a really, really informative and great opportunity for us all. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much.
And remember, guys, we will be here until 11:15 to answer if you have another additional question that didn't get answered. I will be here. The team will be here for a few more minutes. We're also posting this recorded session on the PC website.
Oh, good.
So if you missed part of it, or would you like to share with parent coordinators who did not attend, we will have it on the PC website.
And we'll also, just so that you guys know, let me explain a little bit about the CTLE process. So Latiqua has dropped that link in for attendance. What's going to happen is we send a follow-up email from that attendance based on everyone that has responded. We send a follow-up email. In that follow-up email will be a link to the Survey Gizmo survey. Please give us feedback. Let us know what you thought about this class. We really do look at our feedback and take into account what's being said to make these classes even better. But then also within the survey, you have the ability to request your CTLE certificate. It comes right to you, so you don't even have to worry about that. And then we'll include in that follow-up email all the pertinent links, because I know there was a lot of information shared, and we had the folks from NICSA here, and I know folks are asking, wait, can we get that information? So in that follow-up email, we will provide you with links to everything you need, including some contact information, because this was definitely one of those jam-packed sessions, lots of information. But please feel free, as Derry said, share this with your colleagues, share this, obviously within your school building, but also if you know of parent coordinators that weren't able to make it here today, let them know. The plan for this is really every Friday until June. So if you didn't get to come to today's kickoff, no worries. We are continuing to do this work. We also, as I mentioned, we are recording these sessions. We're going to make the recordings available to you. So don't worry. We are going to make sure you have everything you need. That's what I'm trying to say.
I
Bottom
love
line,
it.
Yes,
you're going to get what you need.
Yes, I just have a question about that. If any way that I can, that we're going to be able to see, because I have problems signing in, and by the time that my tech helped me, it was like half of the meeting. How can I
We're
get
going
the
to send you a
information?
recording of this meeting.
Okay, great. Thank you. It's
Yeah.
very nice when you guys do this for us. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yeah, and feel free to join a little bit early to see if we can, like, if there's any troubleshooting that we need to do. You're more than welcome to come in a little bit earlier, so to troubleshoot any tech. But definitely everything will be recorded. We're gonna post it. We're gonna email it. So I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for our colleagues at DITT, and for Lisa. Thank you so much for just extending your team. This has just been an amazing session.
Yeah, we're very excited to be partnering with you, Derry, and with FACE and with everyone here.
Derry, hi, it's Yvette. How are you, hon?
Hi, Yvette. How are you?
Friday. Oh, it was a great session. Thank you. Everybody's good. It's Friday, right?
It's Friday. I see Rebecca too.
Yeah, hoping you all have a great